Everyday moments frozen in time. From city streets to battlefields, concentration camps to construction sites. Subscribe to History Unveiled for photographs that show life as it actually was. New York City. Hot weather street scene. Boys shooting marbles on the pavement. Summer heat driving children outside. Simple games played on concrete. Urban childhood before air conditioning, before television. New York Sub-Treasury Building. The public lines up to purchase the new Lincoln cent citizens, queuing for fresh currency. American coinage marking a presidential legacy. Monetary change bringing crowds to government offices. Paso del Norte, Mexico, Juarez. Group of people on sidewalk across from church. Several sitting on benches. Street light visible behind one bench. Public gathering in community space. Daily life centered around religious architecture. St. Patrick's College, Ravenswood. Queen of the May seated under pole before latticed Queenslander building. Attendants kneel beside her. Schoolgirls dressed in pale Edwardian costume pose around her. Traditional May Day celebration preserved in formal arrangement. USS Missouri, September 2nd, 1945. Japanese Foreign Minister Mamoru Shigemitsu signs instrument of surrender on behalf of Japanese government. Lieutenant General Richard Sutherland, United States Army, watches from opposite side of table. Foreign Ministry Representative Toshikazu Kase assists Shigemitsu. The war ending with ink and ceremony. This surrender followed 2 atomic bombings. Guam. 2 Emperor soldiers lie dead in tangled undergrowth, killed by troops of United States Army 77th Infantry Division. Combat scenes photographed by Signal Corps. October 1st, 1944. Island warfare's brutal reality captured where bodies fell. Quang Duc, Vietnam. Viet Cong prisoner awaits interrogation at A-109 Special Forces Detachment. Captive sitting under guard. The war's captured fighters facing uncertain treatment. Vietnam. Member 1st Brigade, 5th Infantry Division Mechanized takes down barbed tape, a modified form of perimeter defense. Soldier dismantling temporary barriers. Daily tasks of occupation and withdrawal. Mechanized divisions combined infantry with armored vehicles. Vietnam veterans throw their medals away in protest against the war. Soldiers rejecting honors earned in conflict they now oppose. Bronze and ribbons discarded as political statement. Warriors turning against the mission. Great Depression. Unemployed men standing together. Economic collapse written on faces and posture. Work vanished, leaving men idle on street corners. National crisis measured in jobless crowds. San Antonio, Texas. Mexican boy eating lunch. Young child with food. Simple meal captured in moment of consumption. Childhood sustained through basic nourishment. German-occupied Lodz during World War II. Recording surnames and first names. Personal data of Poles imprisoned by German police in Nazi camp. Bureaucratic documentation of detention. Names and details cataloged as part of systematic imprisonment. These records later became evidence of occupation crimes. Rotterdam, October 11, 1941. RAD, Rijksarbeiddienst exhibition opening. Rijkscommissaris Dr. A. Seyssen-Court on left. Generalcommissaris Schmidt present. Gusen concentration camp after liberation. View of facility following Allied arrival. Barracks and grounds visible in aftermath. The machinery of death left standing as evidence. Buchenwald crematorium courtyard. United States soldiers confront citizens of Weimar with corpses found there. First Buchenwald photo published, appearing in London Times April 18, 1945. German civilians forced to witness what happened nearby. Denial becoming impossible. Weimar citizens claimed they didn't know about the camp. Newly liberated Auschwitz concentration camp. Women in barracks. Pictured far left wearing scarf is Rivka Ruckel-Chinsinska, née Kraus. Survivors photographed where they were imprisoned. Freedom arrived but recovery just beginning. Almagrun concentration camp. Distribution of soup. Facility held Libyan prisoners. Captives receiving rations. Colonial detention operating through controlled food supply. Okinawa after invasion. Sick and wounded natives in hospitals set up by military government in Sobe. Mother bathing child suffering from malnutrition. United States Navy photograph. Medical care provided amid occupation. Civilian population requiring emergency treatment. Goldfield, Nevada. 3 miners wearing prospector outfits standing next to burro cart loaded with camp supplies. Desert mining requiring pack animals and portable equipment. Men equipped for remote extraction work. Goldfield, Nevada. Team of 12 horses hauling 3 wagons full of ore. Above on hill, mill and other mining facilities visible. Hill covered with shrubs. Industrial or transport requiring massive animal power. Mining operations dominating landscape. Udlow, 1914. Group of workers attending to derailed railway carriage. Train accident requiring manual labor to resolve. Rails and wheels displaced. Crew working recovery. Port of Antwerp, 1964. Special cargo. Mini submarine to Nassau, Bahamas. Tween deck, hatch 3. Loading operation underway. Submarine transported as maritime freight. Small submarines had various civilian and military uses. MS Rothenstein NDL, Port Sudan, 1960. Dockers loading bag cargo. Dock workers carry 70-kilogram heavy bags filled with oil cake. Physical labor moving massive weight. Maritime commerce depending on human strength. Titanic sea deck construction. Ship taking shape during building phase. Luxury liner under assembly. Engineering project months before maiden voyage and disaster. Titanic Bridge, morning of April 10, 1912. Captain Edward John Smith stands at his command position. Ship's master on the day of departure from Southampton. Days before the iceberg. Oceanic House, Cockspur Street near Trafalgar Square, London, April 16, 1912. Ned Parfitt, known as the Titanic Paperboy, holds large newspaper banner about the sinking outside White Star Line offices. Colorized photograph. News vendor advertising catastrophe at company headquarters. News of the sinking took days to reach many areas. Angerden, Gothenburg, early 1900s. Ward and Children's Hospital. Young patients in beds. Medical care for sick youth. Institutional treatment of childhood illness. Romanas Sanatorium. Patient in bed on veranda outside hospital room. Fresh air treatment common in tuberculosis care. Outdoor rest prescribed as therapy. Psyopticon image for museum collection. Fremantle Prison, 1909. Radiating exercise yard. Prisoners walking circular pattern under surveillance. Architecture designed for control and observation. Incarceration through geometric precision. Fremantle Prison, 1909. Entrance to main courtyard. Gateway into detention facility. Stone walls and barred access. Colonial Australia's system of confinement made visible. Fremantle operated as prison for over 130 years. Islon Prison, Ramla. Nazi war criminal Adolf Eichmann walking in yard of his cell. Architect of Holocaust logistics held in Israeli custody. Daily exercise under guard. Awaiting trial and execution. Sewing class interior. First Bryant School, renamed Warrington in 1927. Different Bryant School opened next to this building in 1923. Group instruction and needlework. Educational curriculum including practical skills. Vicinity of Lodz during World War II and German occupation of Poland. Displacement of Polish civilians, including mothers and children by German occupiers. Families forced from homes. Systematic removal of population. Millions of Poles were displaced during the occupation. Funeral procession of Emperor Franz Joseph I. Imperial Austria mourning its monarch. State ceremony for departed ruler. Empire's final pageantry before collapse. Washington, D.C. execution of the conspirators. Scaffold in use and crowd in yard, seen from roof of arsenal. Lincoln assassination plotters hanged before gathered witnesses. Capital punishment performed as public event. Mugshot of criminal Pugsy Hurley. Police photography documenting arrested individual. Face captured for identification records. Criminal justice systems visual archive. Mugshots became standard police procedure in the late 1800s. United States border guard and Mexicans behind border fence. Barriers separating nations. People divided by wire and policy. Immigration control made physical. Seacliff Psychiatric Hospital. View showing many men seated on benches above playing field watching cricket game. Hospital designed by Robert Lawson. Photograph taken by Albert Percy Godbeer around 1926. Patients observing sport as institutional recreation. India. Victims of genocide, famine. Families suffering starvation. Crisis claiming lives through hunger. Catastrophic food shortage devastating population. Lanzhou Zhongshan Bridge. Famine victims visible. Chinese population experiencing mass starvation. Bridge location marking scene of humanitarian disaster. Asterisk famine conditions killed millions during this period. August 19, 1918. Luverne, Minnesota and South Dakota border. German-American farmer John Meintz taken from home amid anti-German sentiment during World War I. Masked locals drove him to border, whipped him, threatened to shoot him, tarred and feathered him, forced him across border, threatened to hang him if he returned. Wartime hysteria turned violent against immigrant farmer. First World War. Royal Navy battleships of Grand Fleet patrolling North Sea. British naval power maintaining blockade and control of waters. Warships at sea in formation. Morfettville Racecourse. World War I recruits of 10th Infantry Battalion doing basic training. August 29, 1914. Alexander W. L. McNeil enlisted at Morfettville in AIF as private with 10th Battalion. Civilian grounds converted to military preparation. Racecourses often served as training facilities during wartime. Marcelino Serna. Most decorated veteran of World War I. Soldier who earned exceptional recognition for combat service. Mexican immigrant achieving highest military honors. Newcastle, Washington mining town. Photograph showing community buildings and landscape. Coal mining settlement in early development. King County Courthouse courtroom. Interior showing judicial chamber with furniture and fixtures. Legal proceedings conducted in this space. Washington Territorial Justice System's physical setting. Rare picture of Saccoist politician and military leader Pertulkhan. Afghan resistance figure photographed. Leadership during period of political upheaval. Engagement CTA. The Saccoist movement sought Afghan independence and reform. Nagasaki, August 9, 1945. Mushroom cloud above city after atomic bombing. Taken from northwest. Nuclear explosion captured from distance. Second atomic weapon deployed against Japan. USS Franklin, aircraft carrier attack during World War II. March 19, 1945. Vessel struck and burning. Naval disaster at sea. Carrier crippled by enemy action, but surviving to return to port. 50 moments across wars, cities, disasters, daily life. History Unveiled brings you photographs textbooks skip. The real world, preserved on film.